Hello everyone. This is Ishna Satyat. I'm PhD computer science student with Lyle School of Engineering. Today I would like to discuss with you about applications of neural network in quantum chemistry. Before I begin, let us look and listen at something over here. Here I'm doodling something on an empty canvas and a Bruno Mars music in the background. Now what if I tell you the song you are hearing was written and composed by the machine using artificial intelligence and the doodling that you see is me trying my hands on the touchpad. As I'm drawing, the AI algorithm on the website is identifying the drawing patterns, however horrible it is, and suggested it to be a car. I wanted to present this to all of you to demonstrate the power of artificial intelligence and how it can help us resolve a complex task such as composing a song or draw a picture like a human mind does given the right instructions. Now let me take you to the problem statement that I am trying to work on with Dr. Devin Matthews and his team in chemistry department. The intermolecular interaction and understanding the bond shared between the electrons is a major interest in quantum chemistry. One of the methods to model the interaction of the electrons is third order molar placid perturbation theory or MP3. This theory provides a much more accurate result. One of the techniques to approximate the energy values in this theory is tensor hypercontraction or THC approximation. However, there are a lot of errors in this approximation and has around 22 to 25 variables involved. The focus problem statement hence is to reduce the error in the tensor hypercontraction approximation, and we should be able to get a much more accurate MP3 model. The MP3 energy is determined by looking at the connection between the wavelength function psi, which represents the probability of finding the electron in a different location, and the Hamiltonian H, which represents the interaction between the electron. We can derive this graphically on the right, and each of these diagrams results in a numerical contribution to the energy. Each of these contribution is approximated separately in THC and has a distinct error. By scaling each of these contribution with coefficient determined by the neural network, we should be able to cancel out the individual error as much as possible. To reduce the error, we will be taking help of multi-layer perceptron neural network model. To develop any NL model, we first need a large amount of data. The data set is then divided into training set, test set, and validation set. This is a common method for almost all machine learning technique. We now define the network structure followed by selecting the learning algorithm. This is followed by training the neural network model using weights of each variable and feeding the loss calculator using validation set. This is a kind of an important step as it helps us understand what the impact of each variable in the overall result is. The validation sets helps us to tune the parameter of a classifier and select the number of hidden units in the neural network. We start training the set and test its performance. A good correlation with the test set confirms a good network and a good algorithm. A multi-layer perceptron is a class of feed-forward artificial neural network. The training data set is provided as in the input layer along with its weight. These are then propagated in the forward direction to get the output. Hence the name feed-forward network. However, for learning or training the neural network, the error is propagated in the backward direction in order to reduce the error by adjusting the weights between the layers. Hence, the learning algorithm is known as backpropagation learning. The validation set will help in finding the number of hidden layers and the relationship between the weight and hidden layers. Now, in order to avoid overfitting, we need to make sure that our network has an optimal number of hidden layers. Finally, the output layer provides the last set of output variables which contribute most to the result as well as identifying the loss or error gradient. It is necessary to understand the activation function which define the output of the node for a given input. The sigmoid activation and the rectifier linear activation ReLU activation function are commonly used with multi-layer perceptron model. With this technique, we should be able to reduce the error in the tensor hypercontraction approximation and achieve a higher confidence in the MP3 model. I hope you liked my presentation and I'm really excited about this project and hope to contribute something to the scientific community. Thank you.